What's up, David Jones? How you doing? So, old school wrestlers, okay. What's up, Joey Calisthenics? How you doing, brother? So, as usual, guys, nothing complicated tonight. We're just gonna do some pushes. I'm gonna alternate between just some push-ups, some dips on the parallel bars, hit some body weight squats, and I'm gonna swing that mace bell around a little bit. I'll start off with a 20 down. I'll do 20 down on the pushes and the squats. And the mace bell, I'll just stick to 10 swings in each direction for each round. And we'll see how far we get. A little bit of a miss coming down, but hopefully it won't be anything serious. We'll be able to get something in. Brother Angel, what's up, my man? How you doing? Long time no speak. Yeah, it is nice and cool. What's up, Fresh? How you doing, brother? Thanks for popping in. Something quick tonight. We're just gonna do a 20 down. I'm gonna alternate between push-ups and dips. 20 down squats. I'll hit some swings with the mace bell. I'll do 10 on each side for each round. So work our way down from 20. That's an idea, David. What goes up must come down. What goes down must come up. Something like that. We could try it. If we have time, maybe I will. Now that you threw down a gauntlet, might have to give that a shot. Smoke, that's called a Mace bell. Macebell. I actually had a question about this by one of my subscribers too, so I just wanted to explain it a little bit. Now, by no means am I an expert on this. This is something I picked up about a year ago. Again, it's called the Mace bell, and I've seen some channels, some people working out with it. Like anything, there's no shortage of exercises that you could do with it. I use it generally as a warm-up, and I do incorporate it into my workouts. I haven't done anything with it other than just the Mace bell swings, right? Now, these come in different weights. The head on this one happens to be 10 pounds. I think you can get them 5, 7, 10, 15. I've seen them all the way up to like 25 pounds. I don't know if they go heavier than that. To me, the 10 is definitely heavy enough. You're generating a lot of force when you swing this thing around. As you can see, I grab it, I choke up on it a little bit. So obviously, the further down you come, you hold it, it's going to generate that much more force. I just come up a little bit on it, and basically the way you do it is, obviously your hands are going to go in opposite directions. So the hand that's facing this way, that's the direction you're going to swing it in, right? So if you could see my grip, my top hand is facing this way. So when I go to swing it, I'm going to swing it around my body in that direction. So obviously you want to go in both directions. So you're going to change your grip up. Now my top hand is going to go in the opposite direction, and that's the way I'm going to swing it. Like I said, I'm relatively new to this. I got it about a year ago. I use it off and on, sometimes as a warm-up. Sometimes I'll incorporate it in a workout. It's great for grip strength, forearm strength, overall arm strength, upper body. Really, you're going to feel it in your whole upper body. And when you're swinging it, you got to keep that upper body, really your whole body has to be really tightened up. You don't want to have a loose body. And so as you're swinging it around, you're going to be engaging your core. Really every part of your upper body is going to get hit when you do that. So again, my friend Glenn, who's a subscriber, had left me a comment the other day, and he did ask me about it. But again, it's called the Mace bell, Macebell. And generally I just use it. There are other exercises. You can go online. There's one guy has a channel, I believe he's called the Savage Army, if I have that name correct. If you go on his channel, I think he posts actual workouts where he does it. He does all sorts of different exercises with it. So, you'd probably get a lot more information from there. But generally that's what it is. I would suggest, if you've never used one of these, when I first saw it, I thought to myself, well, 10 pounds, 10 pounds isn't a lot of weight. 10 pounds is more than enough weight for me. You know what I mean? I don't know if you're that strong and you feel that you could do it. But if you're relatively new to the game, I would definitely go on the lighter side, get used to doing it. And again, search online. The one guy that I saw, the channel is called the Savage Army. And he's got several workouts, and a lot of his workouts incorporate the Mace bell. Yeah, Smoke, it's a good tool, and like I said, it's basically, you're gonna feel it. I mean, your grip strength, your forearm strength, overall, really the entire upper body, you're going to feel this thing. It's a really good tool. I highly recommend it. It's not a real big investment, but it's a nice tool to have in your arsenal, no doubt. What's up, Gio? Rocky Day. Okay. Yeah, right. It's one of these Braveheart. You know what, Smoke? We got to put a couple of spikes on the end of it, and we'll be good to go, right? All right, guys. So we're just doing some pushes. We're alternating between dips and push-ups, some squats, and some Mace bell swings. Overwatch, I have not heard of that. Yeah, you know it, Ains. Upper body squats. The dip they call the upper body squat. Good stuff. So guys, another question I had that I wanted to address. I had a question from another subscriber, and he was asking me about these testosterone boosters that you see online, and they're all over Amazon. I checked up on them. So a lot of guys have this in their mind that, first of all, today, between forever chemicals, our shitty lifestyle, we drink booze, we take drugs, most people don't exercise, 75% of the adults in the country are overweight. It's a disaster when it comes to your testosterone levels for guys, right? So they tell you that naturally over time, as you age, you know, whatever your testosterone levels, with age, they're going to decrease a certain amount, right? Add in everything I just said, the forever chemicals and the shitty lifestyles, which we're all guilty of. Some of us are further down the spectrum than others, but it's a disaster for your testosterone levels. Obviously, we live in a time now where nobody really wants to work to get results. Everybody wants results yesterday. Everybody wants to say they're going to change without changing. So they sell this shit in a bottle, and they call it test boosters, testosterone boosters. Most of the time, they're going to contain maybe some vitamin D, a little bit of zinc, that ashwagandha, maybe a little trace amount of boron, and things like that. I don't advocate any of them. You know, I'm 60 years old. Every time I'm on this YouTube channel, I'm accused of taking testosterone or some other type of drugs, which I don't. I've never done it. I wouldn't consider it. It's something so far out of the realm of possibility for me. It's a choice. It's a personal choice, and if you choose to do it, I don't know what to tell you. But the only thing I can say to you is, getting back to these things like test boosters or even doing TRT or all this other stuff, you have to go to the source. The saying is, are you willing to give up the things that made you sick before you try to heal yourself? So what everybody tries to do is they look for what they call a supplement. It's not really a supplement. What they're looking for is a fix for their shitty lifestyle, right? Because they want to keep doing what they're doing, and they think they're going to get this fucking lightning in a bottle, this magic, right? If your test levels are in the tank and you're living a horrible lifestyle, you're boozing, you're not eating right, you don't exercise, you're overweight, everything I just mentioned over and over again, and you think you're going to pay $30 on Amazon for some shit in a bottle that's going to fix you, you're sadly mistaken. All right? So you want to take out the things out of your life that are causing, if your test levels are actually low. And most guys don't even get them tested. But let's say you do it. You go and you get your total testosterone level and your free testosterone level, and you're legitimately on the lower end of the spectrum. First thing you have to do is look at your lifestyle. How often do you drink? When's the last time you exercised? How much fast food are you eating? Seed oils that are in your diet. Your stress levels. You know what I mean? I talk about stress levels all the time. I actually did, some time back, if you search back on my channel, I actually did a video having to do with testosterone levels and ways to boost it and things like that. But a short answer would be, do everything you can to cut out the things that are going to cause your test levels to go down, and then add in the things that would help. What would help? Regular exercise, as much whole food in your diet as you can. I take vitamin D. I don't think you can take enough vitamin D. I take it every single day. I take between 5,000 and 10,000 units of vitamin D every day. I do take a little bit of zinc, about 15 milligrams a day. Now, the thing with zinc is that it can have an effect on your testosterone levels. It's not going to make them go through the roof, but it can. If you're deficient in zinc, right? It's an important mineral in your body. If you are deficient in zinc, and you supplement with it, it could help your testosterone levels. If you're not deficient in zinc and your testosterone levels are low, you can't take a bottle of zinc and think that your levels are going to go up. In other words, it could possibly help you if you're deficient in zinc to get it up to a normal level. That could possibly help your testosterone levels. So you want to take some vitamin D. You could supplement with some zinc. I'm not going to get into the whole thing with boron, but there is some anecdotal evidence, very old evidence about boron helping to boost your testosterone levels. You could look up online, you could Google something called the borax conspiracy. And borax is the old detergent, but it's boron, right? That's what it is. And it's dirt cheap. And, you know, folklore says that boron can help raise your testosterone levels, but I'm not going to get into the whole thing. But if you Google the borax conspiracy, and you could read up on that, and how they say that the boron can help your test levels, it can help with arthritis and a litany of other things. But you'll have to do your own reading. I'm not going to, I really can't get into the whole thing right now. But that's my take on that. I don't advocate, I would never, ever take any type of exogenous hormone unless it was a life or death situation and they told me you're gone if you don't take this. But I've never taken it. I don't take it. I certainly would never, ever buy any of this shit and throw my money away on these testosterone boosters, test boosters that you get from these supplement companies. I think it's just a total waste of money, waste of time and money. Yeah, David, they can, because you are putting more stress, you know, when you do your dips, especially if you get more of a forward lean, you're going to bring more chest and much more of your shoulder into it. So a lot of, you know, if you're shoulders aren't mobile and pretty flexible, you could definitely get some, get a little bit of discomfort doing the dips in the shoulders. All right, Big Daddy, you're getting that beef in. Pure protein, brother. Eggs are the gold standard too. Well, David, as long as you're not going overboard, but you know, again, it's everything we do in life. The poison is always in the dose. The poison is always in the dose. You have to look at your overall picture. I mean, if you have health issues, if you're not in the shape you want to be in, if you're overweight and you're still drinking, I think you have to, you know, my opinion would be you have to kind of look at, now this is coming from a guy who did it. I did it to myself for years and years. So, you know, I did the damage, but I finally got to the point where I said, hey, I have to turn this around. So I don't know how much you're drinking or whatever, but you have to look at, everybody has their own circumstance. But if you're drinking and you have a goal in sight, you're not where you want to be, and you know that that drinking is going to set you back, and it will. Right? Because alcohol is a neurotoxin, brain poison, brain toxin poison. So you're putting poison in your body. So again, it's a personal choice. Cheers, Big Daddy. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, the green-eyed monster is definitely there, Big Daddy. I mean, it's human nature. It's human nature. You got to deal with it. You got to deal with it. But again, the jealousy comes from a place of a lot of people have low self-esteem. A lot of people, the jealousy it's because there's something inside of you that you don't like about yourself. You know what I mean? And you know, I talked about like trolls, even like trolls on YouTube, right? Which we all have to deal with if you put yourself out there. When people lash out and they try and bring other people down, it's because they're so unhappy with themselves. You know what I mean? Without getting into like a psychiatry session. But this when they lash out like that and they make comments and it's just meant to bring somebody else down, especially when you see somebody that's trying to help themselves. Like I made the point the other day. You know, if I'm in the park and I'm doing 10 push-ups and there's a guy next to me and he's doing 3, I'm certainly not going to go over to him and say, what's wrong with you? You can only do 3 push-ups? What are you, fucking loser? Like, you know, what's the matter? I want to do everything I can to encourage this guy. And that's part of the reason why I'm putting myself out here on YouTube. I'm not totally comfortable doing this, but I want to show people. I want to show people that you don't have, you're supposed to get old. Nobody's going to stop the clock. You're not going to stop the clock, unfortunately, and you're not going to turn it backwards. You know what I mean? But you don't have to be sick. You don't have to be overweight. You don't have to be unhealthy. There's a way to do it. There's a way to do it. And my intent is to try and encourage people. You know what I mean? And these people that are out there and all they do is try and bring other people down when they see people trying to better themselves. That's because you're so unhappy with yourself. You live in fear. You have no real purpose in your life. You have no self-esteem. You have no self-discipline. So your only recourse is to make yourself feel better for that split 30 seconds by lashing out at somebody else and trying to make them feel like shit. Yeah, Big Daddy, Celtic salt is fine. Celtic or Himalayan, that's where you're going to get the most. Celtic and Himalayan have the most mineral content. I wouldn't be doing like over-the-counter, like Morton's salt that's bleached and has iodine added to it and all that bullshit. I would definitely go with, if you're going to use salt, Celtic or a good pink Himalayan salt. Ange, I've dabbled with sea moss. Actually, I do. If you go back on my channel, I have a video on that too, where I bought it. I would buy it in bulk and then make. It's good. I mean, I would make, you know, like it's almost like an applesauce consistency. And again, that's loaded with sea moss is loaded with minerals and stuff. So there's a lot of health benefits to be had with that. Thank you, David. You know I appreciate you, brother. Shout out to David Jones. He's been with me from the beginning. Always positive stuff from David. Tim Effect, my friend Tim. Guys, make sure you check out my friend Tim. Florida strong, 69 years young, out working guys a quarter his age. Thank you, Brother Tim. I hope you're doing good, man. Yeah, David, the answer is just real food. You know, everybody's always looking for a supplement, a hack, a powder, a pill. You know, what can I take to get this? Work hard and eat right. You know, the only thing I do say is maybe like a protein shake in order to hit if you want to get enough protein in for the day, because sometimes it can be hard. You know, if you want to get X amount of protein and you want to supplement, I always recommend a good like whey protein isolate, you know, or something like that. Big Daddy, yeah, I wouldn't say nobody. There are good people out there that try to encourage people, but generally speaking, I'm talking about the people that are so unhappy in their own lives. And like I said earlier, it comes out of fear, it comes out of lack of self-esteem, lack of self-discipline, unhappiness with themselves, no real purpose in life. And then if they see somebody that they perceive might be doing better than them, or looks like they might be outworking them, or have more than them, or be doing more than them, they just want to lash out and think that they're going to bring that, or try and bring that person down, or make that person feel bad and bring them down to their level. When in reality, if they just did some self-reflection and really did some work, did something in life that was going to try and better them, they would feel better about themselves, and then they would feel better about other people. No, Ange, the answer is not in the pills. Cheers, Big Daddy. I appreciate you being here, brother. I really do, man. I appreciate the positive feedback. I'm just doing what I do, my man. Yeah, Big Daddy, you're talking about the salt, right? You can do that. You could take a little dab of salt, because don't forget, see, a lot of us are dehydrated, and when you talk about hydration, a lot of people think, well, I'm dehydrated, so I'm just going to drink a shit ton of water. I'll drink like 2 gallons of water a day and I'll be hydrated. Really what you're doing is, if you're drinking plain water, you know what I mean? And you're drinking a couple of gallons or whatever throughout the day, you're going to be pissing like a racehorse. As you're doing that, you're flushing out electrolytes, salt, potassium, magnesium. A lot of people are deficient in magnesium. Those are your the 3 top electrolytes. Any of the shit that you see sold on Amazon or anywhere, and they say this is an electrolyte drink, it's always going to have salt, potassium, and magnesium, right? So what I do is I always use Himalayan pink salt. I buy in bulk off Amazon potassium chloride. If you don't want to buy it in bulk, if you go into any supermarket and you see a salt substitute, it goes under the name of New Salt, NU Salt, New Salt, or No Salt. Anything that says salt substitute, that's going to be potassium. And you can just check the ingredient, right? So, and then magnesium is very, very important in your body. Very important. A lot of times if you have people that have high blood pressure, I'm not saying it's the only cause, but it's a big cause of high blood pressure if you're deficient in magnesium. So I do a scoop of magnesium with some potassium and some salt, a little bit of lemon, and I do it every morning. I mix it up in a cup of water and just knock it back. But as far as buying those pre-made Element, I don't even know what the names are. I know that the most popular one I see is called LMNT, Element. The only thing that's in it is salt, potassium, magnesium. Those are the 3 main electrolytes. And all of these electrolyte drinks, that's all they put in it. Right? And trace them, not a lot. They don't put a lot in it. And you're paying $30, $40 for a month's worth. And it's a joke. I buy a 2-pound bag of potassium, a 2-pound bag of magnesium. It's going to last me till I'm 70 years old. And I just take a little every day. I take that every morning, and you throw a little lemon in it. Sometimes what I do is I have my water bottle. On real hot days, if I'm at the park working out, I'll actually have this filled with ice water, and I'll throw a little bit of that, the potassium, magnesium and salt in here with a little bit of lemon, and I sip that throughout my workout. Yeah, I know, David. A lot of these trolls, they are like probably young kids on there just trying to get a rise out of you. But there are plenty of adults out there doing it too. So yeah, that's where I'm usually at, Big Daddy. Right? Yeah, I do. Yeah, behind. I live in northern Jersey. It's a rural area. So I actually do have woods behind my house. So it's nice. And I actually, I grew up in the city. I've been living where I'm at now for 20 years, but after growing up in the city, I always say, like, I grew up in the city, the houses were so close together, I couldn't, between the house I lived in and the next door neighbor, I couldn't extend my arms and walk up the alleyway. That's how close you live to everybody, you know what I mean? And it was just, I was born and raised there, and about 20 years ago, I moved up to an area where all I see is trees behind my house. So it was culture shock when I first went up there. Let me get a set in here, guys. I lost track, guys. My intent was to do 20 down, but I lost track, so I'll just hit sets of 15. Thanks, Fresh. Mookie, yes, magnesium citrate. There's different types of magnesium, and you're gonna see that the bioavailability on different ones is gonna be, your body will take in more of this one and that one, and you'll see magnesium glycinate. It tastes horrible. Get magnesium citrate and you'll be fine. Trust me. Magnesium citrate. Look it up on Amazon. You buy it in bulk. The one that I buy, it comes with a little scoop. It's 3,300 milligrams. It's more than enough per day. And like I said, I just do a scoop every morning and I just knock it back. I throw some potassium and the salt, but definitely go with magnesium citrate. You might read that this other one, it's more bioavailable or whatever. Magnesium citrate will do you right. Trust me. Yeah, Frankie F16. Frankie, I was talking to Frankie, and the magnesium does have some effect if anybody suffers from migraines. But again, I talked about like the high blood pressure. Magnesium, if you do a little research on magnesium, there's no shortage of processes in your body that need magnesium, and so many of us are deficient, as we are in vitamin D. That's the other thing, guys. I talked about the testosterone earlier, but vitamin D is crucial in your body, crucial. And unless you live on the equator or someplace where you're getting sun on a good part of your body on a very regular basis, you should be taking some vitamin D. What's up? What's up? Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, the Bayonne Bleeder, Chuck. He's actually a really good guy, Ange. I knew him, you know, not personal friends where we hung out all the time, but I knew him. We would talk once in a while, you know, I would sit and bullshit with him, and a really, really nice, he's got some story, man. Really, really just a genuine guy. Like he tells it like it is, you know what I mean? But yeah, definitely a really good guy. I remember right after when he fought Ali, I think I was about 11 or 12 years old, and he lived in an apartment building like 4 blocks from where I lived. And right after that fight, I used to go knock on it. I literally went to his apartment, knocked on his door to try and get his autograph. And I went like 3 or 4 times, and his wife answered the door, and, oh, I'm sorry, honey, he's not home, you know. I kept coming back. And one day he came to the door and he actually brought me inside and took out a picture and signed it for me. And, you know, he was really good. And then later on in life, you know, when I got older, I became somewhat friendly with him, but a really good guy. All right, David, you know I appreciate you, brother. Thanks very much for being here, man. I always appreciate it. Shout out to David Jones. David's been with me from very, very early on. All right, guys, let me hit another set. Yeah, Big Daddy, that might have been the case. Gusto Gains. Guys, check out my friend Gus over on the Game Bros channel. Make sure you check him out. He's been killing it lately with his muscle ups. 50 muscle ups in 2.5 minutes or something. Something crazy, but make sure you go check him out. Mike, the potassium, it's potassium chloride. Again, if you go on YouTube and just, YouTube. If you go on Amazon, you're gonna search just potassium chloride. What the hell is the name of the brand that I use? I'm gonna say Natural Elements, but don't quote me on it. But it's a white bag and it has blue lettering on it. But whatever, there's plenty of brands. And potassium chloride is potassium chloride, so just find the cheapest one that you can. But again, if you go into the supermarket, if you don't want to buy it in bulk, I'm gonna say for a 2-pound bag, $20, $22 or something. But if you want to go into the supermarket and just buy, again, any type of salt substitute. New salt, no salt. I'm sure there's a shit ton of other brands, but a salt substitute is just going to be that. It's going to be potassium chloride. But I would suggest if you want to take it, like I said, I take it every day, pretty much every morning. The three, I have to get the Himalayan pink salt, potassium chloride, magnesium citrate. Much, much, much cheaper to buy it in bulk. Never, ever, ever, ever buy these things that you see, the Element, all of these bullshit electrolyte things. Just take your own. Buy it in bulk and take your own. Yeah, actually, that's true. What Frankie said, Mike. If you go on my channel, I have a link to most of the stuff. Well, I don't have everything in there yet, but some stuff that I use that I always get off of Amazon, things that I legitimately use and recommend, and it would definitely be in there. All right, guys, we'll hit another set. I'm just doing 15s. Like I said, I was going to do 20 down, and I lost track. My friend Gus can relate to that. So we'll just do sets of 15. No problem, Mike. Appreciate you being here, brother. So guys, I put in the title today, make fitness your addiction. What I really mean is your health. Be your own addiction, right? Make your health be your own addiction. We all have addictions, whether it's booze, whether it's drugs, whether it's a person or people, video games, food. Food is a huge addiction. It's a serious addiction. And I don't believe that when people say, I broke that addiction, or I don't believe that you legitimately ever break that addiction for real. I think once you have an addiction, you're addicted to it for life. I think what we do is we come to replace that addiction with something else. You know what I mean? So, and I know it's hard, you know what I mean? And we all have our demons. We're all trying to kick something. But there's nothing more valuable in life than your health. You know what I mean? And you have to look at it that way. You have to put it in perspective. And trust me, time is running out. Time is running out. You can't wake up every day and say, well, I'm only 30, so I have time. I'm only 40, so I have time. I'm not as bad as him. And that's a tendency too. If you're overweight, if you're 30 pounds overweight, you're going to look at the guy that's 50 pounds overweight and laugh at him. Say, look at that guy. He's 50 pounds overweight. I'm not that bad. But you're going to get there. 30 turns to 40, 40 turns to 50, 50 turns to 60. No matter what your addiction is, it's going to snowball. It's going to get worse. You know, and if you're a drinker, if you do drugs, if you have any type of addiction, you think gambling, I was there. And you think you can operate. You think you're smooth enough. You think, no, I have this. I have this under control. It's going to get you. It's going to get you in the long run. So my feeling is that you actually have to replace that addiction with something else. And what better to replace it with than your health? If you become obsessed, I mean fucking obsessed. Let people call you obsessed. Look at that asshole. He's at the park at night. It's dark out and he's doing push-ups. Was he fucking obsessed? Yeah. And I'm proud of it. And I'm proud to admit it. And I'll tell you, I am. And you know why? I'm obsessed with this because for years in my life I was obsessed with other stuff that did me no good. That was really, at the end of the day, destroying me. And you've got to get that stuff out of your life. You've got to get that stuff out of your life and work on yourself. The count is counting. You got that right. The time is always now, Frank. Time is always now. If not now, when? If not you, who? Right? It's got to be you, and it's got to be now. Mikey, I do take rest days. I don't have scheduled rest days. I take them as I need them. And to be honest with you, yesterday was a day off. I was feeling a little bit sore, and I took off. And today, my intention was to hit the gym earlier and get a few reps in before I had a road trip to make today. Anyway, I didn't, and I'm here now. And really, my workout today is just going to be this. It's just going to be some push-ups, squats, a few dips, and swinging the Mace bell around. But generally, I kind of fly by the seat of my pants. You know, I kind of know what I did the day before. You know what I mean? If I hit, like the other day, I hit a good bench press session. I was at the gym, so I did some bench pressing. So then the next day is going to be some type of pull work. Maybe I'll hit a leg day. You know what I mean? So I break it up. I know generally what I did, but the rest days come when I really feel that I need them. You know, if I try not to, but you know, there are just days where I say, you know what, I'm going to take the day. And it's good. You need the rest days. You definitely need them. But the problem comes when you take one day and you say, well, I'm going to take another one and another one, because one turns into 2 and 3 and in a week, and 1 week turns into 2 weeks, and it snowballs. So you have to watch. You know, you have to stay consistent. You really do. And be strategic about when you take off and why you take off. Are you taking off because you say, I want to go out and get fucked up today? You know, I got this party to go to, or you really working and you say, you know what, I'm going to give my body a rest. You know, but if you put other things in front of your health, in front of your fitness, the fitness, your health, your body has to be number one. So I'm not going to take a day off. I'm not going to readjust my schedule for the most part, you know, unless it's for my kids or something. And I did that back in the day. You know, I was running around, I was doing my thing, you know, and I did work out, not consistently, you know, I was up and down over the years. I always did something, but a lot of times my lifestyle got in the way of my fitness. I don't let that happen anymore, you know. But to answer your question, rest days are a necessity, and that comes with knowing your body. You really have to know your body, how you feel, you know what I mean? Fresh. Yeah, give me, you know what, I do have the brand that if you check my channel, I have a link to like an Amazon link. You could check, I'm sure I have the zinc in there. I can't think of the name of the brand. I get it off Amazon. I'll check on my other phone if you give me 1 second though. You're absolutely right, Ange. Those are all the biggest, the biggest culprits right there. You're right, Big Daddy. You can't look at life like, you know, I'll do it tomorrow, because there really is none. There might not be one. You never know, in the blink of an eye. Fresh, go on Amazon and look up Pure. I believe the brand is called Pure Essentials. They have a pretty clean line of supplements, but the zinc is in there. I do 15 milligrams a day. They sell a 30 and a 15. Unless you're like severely deficient with zinc, I think 15 will do you just right. But check that out. I believe it's Pure Essentials. It's a white bottle and it has blue lettering on it. But it's on Amazon.
Guys, we're getting raided!
See, Ange? You never thought that, right? And it happened. Right? And it really is, it's life-changing. It really is. You make it your addiction. I'm addicted to calisthenics. I'm addicted to my health. You know? And like I said, be obsessed with it. Be proud that you're obsessed with it. You know? If you went and told people, man, I love going out Friday night and I love doing this, and oh man, look at you, you're living your best life. And now, if I tell people, no, I'm not going to the bar, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to go to the park, and you know behind your back, this fucking guy, he doesn't know how to live, he's not having a good time. Really? You think so? You think so? Do you know how many times I was in a fucking bar, drunk out of my mind, with 100 people, you know what I mean, thinking I'm living it up, and you're by yourself. And that's the other thing too, guys. Don't think you have to be around all these people because, you know what I mean? You might have one or two legitimate good friends, people that care about you. Everybody else is, not that they're bad people, you know what I mean? But they're just acquaintances. And at the end of the day, they don't give a shit. They don't care about your problems. You could be there standing there 100 pounds overweight and say, yeah, you know, I'm 100 pounds overweight and I'm really going to start exercising. And the reason why I don't now is because this, that, and they're just going to be looking at you like dozing off. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about your problems. They don't care why you're overweight. They don't care why you're broke, why you can't pay your mortgage, why your fucking car isn't getting repoed. They don't care. You know what I mean? Worry about yourself. Worry about your family. Worry about your kids. Be obsessed with that. Yeah, well, yeah, fresh. I mean, food, whole food. Your fruits, your vegetables, meats, eggs, you know, all, real food that's where you're gonna get your micronutrients from. That's where you're gonna get your minerals from. That's where you get, you know, your vitamins from. But again, you know, you talk about potassium. People say, well, bananas have potassium. So the recommended, you know, dose, the daily allowance of potassium is like 4,700 milligrams a day. Where they come up with that number, God only knows. Because there's 8 billion people, 8 billion different physiologies. You can't just paint and tell everybody you got to take 4,700 milligrams of potassium. But my point is, in order to get 4,700 milligrams of potassium, I did the math. I think you have to eat 20 to 30 bananas. I could be off by that, but it's a ridiculous number. It's a lot. You know what I mean? So you got to eat 2,000 calories worth of bananas to get potassium. It's nonsense. If you're really deficient in it, if you really need it, you know, like the zinc, just take 15 milligrams. And again, the vitamin D. People aren't getting the sun. People aren't. So many people are deficient with vitamin D. It's ridiculous. You got to be taking some vitamin D. Your body needs it. It's essential for testosterone production in men. Essential, right? Your immune system. So much vitamin D. You have to be taking it. And where do you get that from? You get it from the sun. Most of us don't get it. You know, you get it from like fatty fish. Most people aren't eating that much fatty fish. They're really not, you know. Yeah, again, Ange, it gets back to like earlier, I don't know if you were here, but I was talking about the trolls. Like when people see you doing, if you're not following the crowd, you're like an oddball. But as I got older and I saw what was going on, trust me, I want to be the fucking odd man out. You don't want to be what everybody else is or do, for the most part, what everybody else is doing. Like I always say, you want to know what to eat? Well, I can tell you what not to eat. Go to the supermarket and look at what 90% of the people have in their carts. Don't eat that. That's step number one. And then you start learning what to eat, like the real foods. But what 90% of the people are putting in their carts in the supermarket, you don't want to do that. What 90% of the people are doing on the weekends, hanging out in bars and clubs and getting fucked up and whatever else they're doing, you don't want to be doing that. Don't do it. Trust me. And there are people that, and they know. I mean, because I was one of them. You think in your mind, you have to be doing that. I'm unhappy if I don't have those people around me, if I'm not getting fucked up, if I'm not drinking, if I'm not getting high, I'm not having fun, I'm not living my life. Bullshit. Bullshit. Find something that you like. Invest in yourself. Bet on yourself. You be the guy. You don't want to be in a like I said, like I'd be in a bar on a weekends with 50 or 100 people, just mixing, just a face in the crowd, just a nobody. I don't want to be that. I want to be separate and apart. I don't want to be one of those guys. Hey, look at that bunch of guys. I want to be the fucking guy that stands out for a good reason. Not because I'm 300, 400 pounds. I want to be the guy that stands out and because I'm different. I'm not doing what they're doing. Yeah, you know, when it comes to working out, Ange, you know, I learned that years ago too. When I was working, this is many years ago, I had guys that I worked with. And so many times, you know, we had this YMCA in town and we'd work out down there. So many times, you know, it'd be like, what time are you going to be down to Y? I'll be down there like 10, 11 o'clock. And you're just waiting and waiting and waiting, nobody shows up. And that I really did. When it came to working out, I became a lone wolf when it came to that. Many years ago, I learned. I'm not relying on anybody else because too many people, they're not consistent, you know what I mean? You know, my workouts, my health, my regimen, my routine isn't going to be relying on somebody else. No fucking way. No way. Yeah, Mikey, there's a big difference. It's a big difference. I'm not saying you want to isolate yourself from the world. You don't have to do that. But pick and choose. Have people. I'm not saying that I don't, when I say this, be around people that are going to do something for you. I mean, like help you get better. Like what do they say? Like if you hang out with 4 fat guys, you're going to be the 5th. If you hang out with 4 stupid guys, you're going to be the 5th dummy. You want to find people that are better, smarter, that know more than you, so you could learn from them. I'm not saying use them, but those are the people that you want to be around. You know what I mean? Because for years and years and years, I just hung out with guys that we didn't do anything. We didn't do, you know, it was just, we worked, and then you went to the bar. and you got fucked up. And then you nursed your hangover, you went back to work, and that was the rotation. It's no way to live. It's no way to live. Yeah, you got to find positive people, Mikey. You definitely have to. And it comes down to two, like, you know, if you have somebody in your life and you're trying to help them or something, of course you want to. You know what I mean? You want to do everything you can to help people, but there are some people, there's too many people that they say they want to help, like I said earlier, right? People say that they want to change without changing. And that's what it'll go back to these supplements. That, you know, let's talk about the test booster I was talking about, right? That somebody had asked me about. Everybody's looking for these things, and I'm not the guy, my subscriber that asked me, I'm not saying that that's him, he just was looking for an opinion on it. But so many people will say, like, well, can I take this? Can I take this? And the reason why they're asking, the reason why they're trying to do that is because they don't want to stop doing the bullshit. They think what they're looking for is some cure or something that's going to mask the bullshit. So I could still do the bullshit if I take this, if I drink that. You know what I mean? Like they're looking for a Band-Aid for their bullshit lifestyle, because it's so much easier to do that than actually change, because change is uncomfortable. Nobody likes being uncomfortable. I certainly don't. And I know nobody watching me does. It sucks, but you have to do it. You have to do it if you want to better yourself. All right, guys, more talking and working out tonight, but I'm going to get another set in. Yeah, that's it, Rodney. That's what it is. Everybody's looking for a shortcut. We want the results yesterday. We want the results without doing the work, or as little work as possible, right? It's much more satisfying, better for your self-esteem, better for your overall health if you actually do the real work. You know what I mean? And nutrition is number one. You know, I was talking earlier about addictions. We're fucking addicted. We are all in when it comes to food addiction. All in, you know? But you can't convince most people of that. You know? No, I'm not addicted to it. I just like it. Well, then stop it for a week. Stop it for a day. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Food addiction is real. And people think that, you know, well, what I'll do is, because they know If you can't stop eating a certain way or you can't stop doing something, well, I work out, so I'll just do extra push-ups. I'll do, you know, whatever. And that's going to negate, again, that's going to, you know, like taking a supplement. The extra exercise is going to negate my bullshit. It's not, because like I say all the time, I've said it many, many times, your health doesn't come from the outside in, right? So if you're pouring shit down your throat, I don't care how many push-ups you do, I don't care how much you deadlift, all of these guys that are, you know, bro, how much do you deadlift and how much do you squat and how much I don't give a fuck how much you do. If you're pouring shit down your throat, you're destroying your body from the inside out. No matter what exercise you do, you're not gonna fix that. You are never, ever, ever gonna fix that. Number one is always gonna be your nutrition. Number one is always gonna be what you put into your body, what you put into your mouth. Yeah, Smoke, it is getting dark. Oh shit, I've been here actually longer than an hour, so. I don't have a set time. You know, I just come in and do what I gotta do. But it is kind of dark. I don't even know if you guys can see me doing what I'm doing anymore, so. Let me get one more set for the road and then I think we'll. TM5, brother. Okay, you did ask me, you left a comment the other day, which I wanted to address. I apologize. So, when it comes to the cold plunge, they say that you can reap some benefits with the water, like around the 50-degree mark, 50, low 50s, 50 to 55 Fahrenheit. That's Fahrenheit. So, I don't know where you're at. Are you in the US? But I know, like, the water that comes out of the tap generally is going to be around that. The coldest setting is going to be around there. So I tell people, you know, if you want to get into the cold plunge, you could start with just cold showers. You know, right with the coldest setting on the tap water. And if you want to ease your way into that, you take your normal shower how you normally would. And then at the end, crank that bad boy all the way down to the cold and suck it up. Start with a minute, 2 minutes. You want to go up to 3 minutes, whatever. I have a little cold plunge tub that I bought online. I used it during the winter and it was plenty cold. I went out there on days where the water was the air temperature might have been in the 30s. One day, a couple of days I went out there, the air temperature was in the 20s. I don't even know what the water temperature was. It was probably in the high 30s. But that'll definitely do it too. But you can, and trust me, I don't know if you've done it. Well, if you're cold plunging now, you know what the cold feels like. But you guys that haven't, if you want to try it, you put that water in, just in a shower. Just put it on the coldest setting that you have, and then go from there. And I do that pretty much every day, the cold shower. I've been doing it for several years now. And then this past winter, I started hitting the tub. But it's an experience for sure. And you're gonna find on different days, just like with exercise, right? You come out some days and you're looking to tear the gym apart, or you wanna stay at the park all day, you have all the energy in the world. Some days you have a different tolerance for the cold. I mean, there was a couple of days where I went out there, those real cold days, and I lasted a lot longer than I thought I would. A couple of days I went out and I was a minute and a half, I was done, But cold shower is definitely the way to start. And then just work your way down in temperature from there. But, I've seen guys online where they might have like a garbage can sized tub in their backyard. They fill that with water and then throw some ice bags in there. And they're not getting the water much colder than 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Even by throwing some ice in there into say like whatever a large garbage can is, 40 gallons, I don't even know, 45 gallons. But yeah, if you get that water Fahrenheit somewhere like in the 40s to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, I think that's going to be plenty cold for you, Yeah, no doubt, Fresh. The body's amazing. The body is amazing. And that inflammation is by design. Your body does that. That's the part of the healing process. Mikey, you have a Mace. That's cool. Yeah, it's good, man. It's definitely a great upper body workout for sure. Yeah, TM, and I'm sure 50 degrees was plenty cold for you, right, brother? I'm sure 50 degrees was plenty cold for you. But work your way down, And, yeah, Big Daddy, I did, like I said, like I just mentioned, I did a couple this past winter that were I might have gotten a little over ambitious with the couple that I did out there on a few of those mornings. But definitely, that's not something where you could fuck around, dip your toe in, let me see what it feels like. You just got to take a deep breath and get in there and just, let the chips fall. But it'll wake you up for sure, no doubt. Let me hit another sec, guys. Thanks, TM. Appreciate that, brother. I appreciate you watching and being here and the interaction, man. I hope you're doing well. Stick with those cold plunges. You'll get there. You know, it's like anything. People will tell you, yeah, cold plunges are bullshit. There's no benefit to them. Well, have you ever done one? No, because there's no benefit. All right, thanks. You know, you do you. If you feel, I mean, I feel great just taking a cold shower every morning. If nothing else, if you want to be one of those people that say, oh, it's bullshit, it doesn't give you any health benefits, I guarantee you this, it'll fucking wake you up. You'll be awake if you take that cold shower in the morning, or any time really during the day, if you need a quick pick me up. Big Daddy, you know, the one that I have, some of these tubs, they get real, they actually sell like this cooling unit you could use, but the one I have is really just a vinyl tub. And I used it throughout the winter only because I could fill it and, you know, leave it, you know, for a couple of weeks, and the water would stay nice and cold and I wouldn't have to worry about it. But in the wintertime, in the summertime, I'm really not inclined to be filling it and then the water getting hot and have to empty it out and refill it and all that stuff. So basically, of late, I've just been sticking to the cold showers. So it's August now. By next month, when the weather starts cooling down a little bit, I'm definitely going to have it filled. And I'll go out there in the morning. Like I said, as long as you get that water down in the 50s. But to be honest with you, I mean, you jump into a tub of water that's 60 degrees, and you'll feel that too. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there are people, I guess, that do it, that keep it filled. And in the summertime, you really have to keep on top of it, because that water's really going to start getting like nasty. So I wouldn't leave that in the summertime, you know, when it's real warm out. And especially the tub that I have is like a black vinyl tub. So that's really going to heat up that water. You know what I mean? There you go, Mike. Mike has the winning strategy right there. Little movement, some squats, some push-ups, cold shower. That's going to change the entire trajectory of your day. As opposed to waking up with a hangover, feeling like shit, swearing off drinking until that night. You got to have your coffee, Mike. That goes without saying. Come on. You got to have your coffee. Best pre-workout, mid-workout, and post-workout there is. Black coffee. All right, guys. I think I overstayed my welcome here. It is kind of late. Appreciate everybody that's been here. I'm not going to go through and name everybody. You know who you are. Everybody that checks in, whether you hit the like button or not, whether you subscribed or not. I still appreciate you being here, interacting, watching, whatever you're doing, lurking in the background. I hope whatever we did helped you out a little bit. Everybody stay healthy, stay safe. Make sure you get your reps in. Make fitness your addiction. And I will talk to you in the next one. Thanks, guys.